So I've been in the industry since 2009. That was a lot of God and a lot of weight. I'll go bike riding with my boy. My family and I, we pray every night together. I feel that I don't get enough time with them.
What do you think makes Plugged In different than everybody else?
In that facility where I've learned a lot about a lot. It's a real beautiful piece of a lot of things. If your trauma is training, then what is your mission? All right, my name is Greg Bravo. I'm here with Scott. Really super excited to actually hang out with you today.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I think we've been working together for a solid half a year or something crazy.
Yeah, long time.
Long time.
Yeah, go way
We
back.
go way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, we never really get to just chill and hang out, you know?
Yeah. I think this is probably my first time on the podcast. So breaking the seal here. Excited about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks everyone for joining in and watching us today. As Bravo said, I'm Scott Zelensky. I'm partner, currently chief operations officer here at Plugged In, and really helping to drive strategy and operations and logistics, and just really ultimately help out anywhere I can. And Bravo, you head up our programming. Tell me a little bit more about your title and kind of what you do on day in and day out.
Yeah. So pretty much I do whatever's asked of me. Uh, Sometimes I fight, sometimes I don't. But for the most part, man, I'm kind of just over kind of like, the programming and the culture and making sure that, all of our staff members are where they need to be at when they need to be where they need to be at. And I'm really grateful for those opportunities to just really develop and to train and to do the utmost best of what I'm able to do with them. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I get to see what you do a lot on the day in and day out here at Plugged In, but tell me a little bit more about the Greg Bravo that many people probably don't know. Like what's the behind the scenes Greg Bravo?
The behind the scenes Greg Bravo is pretty much a family man.
Yeah.
Love my family to death. Love spending time with them. I feel that I don't get enough time with them. Um, but yeah, I mean, pretty much, I'll go bike riding with my boy. My family and I, we pray every night together. We do, weekend things together as well. And it's the highlight of my life, to be honest with you. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it really
awesome.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else is just extra stuff I get to do.
Yeah.
You know?
And you just got back from a trip recently.
I did. Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. It spent about 7 days in Hawaii on the Kauai Mountain
Amazing.
or island, I should say, and had a blast. First time swimming with turtles and first time, outside, I guess, the land of America, even though Hawaii's still America, but
Right.
over the other side of the mountain or over side of the sea there. It's really awesome. It was a great serenity, well needed vacation. Can't wait to go back.
That's awesome. I've never been to Hawaii.
Oh
I'm looking
wow.
forward to it.
Yep.
Ironically, my wife is Hawaiian and never been to Hawaii. So it's on our list to go really, really soon. But tell me more about like the Greg Bravo in the recovery space. Like tell me, bring me back a little bit to like how you got into it, your journey, like where the last, 5 years, 10 years, kind of what that's been looking like.
Yeah, the last 5 or 10 years. So I've been in the industry since 2009.
Okay.
I was happened to, my sobriety date is April 30th of 2009. So once I was able to get my general education diplomacy, I got hired on at a third party treatment facility in Casa Grande, and then from there I landed myself in another treatment center where I spent I would say close to or about 11 years of cutting my teeth and um, in that facility where I've learned a lot about a lot. And yeah, it's been a really awesome journey. I think one of the biggest takeaways was, really climbing up the ladder of, coming in as a BHT and being trained up as peer support and, as a motivational interviewing and, other specialists as well too. And then really getting to work with like counselors and my peers and really good leaders for direction on just professionalism and how to build rapport and how to, I guess, really get into the client's understanding of their, I like to call it like in their brokenness and their poverty and just really bringing them to the space of, changing their lives. On the side, I do work a 12-step program, maybe not as thick as I used to when I first started, but yeah, just, I went to meetings. I have a sponsor or spiritual advisor for you big book thumpers out there. Don't beat me up. Just rigorously taking the advantage of the 12 steps and working it in all of my affairs.
Mhm.
And out of that, a lot of gratitude came in because I just about had lost my family, lost um, my my sanity to the point where suicidal ideations were real for me, and just started working a program, got into the industry, learned, advanced, and now I get to be here at Plugged In, and with a lot of the expertise and learning, still learning, um, able to provide whatever experience I may have with it. So it's been a wonderful journey for me, and maybe not so much that people are around me, but it's been a wonderful journey for me for sure.
Well, I mean, you can definitely tell. You carry your heart on your sleeve.
Mm.
I get to watch you do tours. I get to watch you interact with, new folks that come in, and uh, the rapport that you create with them is always amazing. And the funny thing is that we do a lot of conferences, trade shows, symposiums,
Mm.
and the name Greg Bravo is known around the country. Um, it
Wow.
really blew me away. Went to Cape Cod,
Yeah.
a week and a half, 2 weeks ago,
Sure.
and the amount of folks that I talked to, they said, "Oh, I know people out there in Arizona. I know Bravo out there." Right. So it's a
Yeah.
testament to not only your longevity in the industry, but just like the good work that you do. Right.
Oh,
So
I
that's
love that.
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Um, so you've been with Plugged In for about a year now. Like, how did that shape up? Like, how did you end up at Plugged In?
I would have to say that was a lot of God and a lot of Wade. And I think I was a national rep for a very uh, reputable company, and Wade came around and he said that he wants to do a residential. And we had talked about this, I guess, maybe about 2 years ago. Before that, and I know of Wade, and come to find out, this man is not a dreamer. This guy is like,
Yeah.
he is probably like right now looking at the next angles to like advance us, right? And he does not rest. This man does not rest. But however, I didn't have all that. I did know that he was a high performer at a job that where he was at. He's he was very genuine, and his heart is, to my eyes, like, very pure. And so when he told me, "Hey, I want to open up a residential facility and I want you to pretty much run it," I told him, I said, "Wait, I'm probably not the sharpest tool in the shed." And he's like, "I don't care, I need you on the team." And I said, "Well, it's gonna have to be like my way, and I can't like have any interruptive, voices or anything. Like, I could build it out."
Mhm.
And and then he says, I guess maybe about a month later, he's like, "Hey, I'm ready." And at that time where I was at, I had to do a lot of praying. I had to do a lot of conversation with the family. And, of course, my spiritual advisors, right? I have more than one, all kind of came into play. And one of the biggest things that really came into play is that I did a very intentional um, 9-day prayer intentions. And the beautiful thing about that is I have used that in the past and I have gotten strong answers. And this one right here, I didn't get any answers. And I knew it was time. I knew it was time to give it a shot. And, very fearful, very, and a lot of gratitude and a lot of fear and a lot of insecurities and everything that you think will come with it, of leaving something that had security.
Right.
Um, I still felt it was the right decision.
Yeah.
And been here ever since. And it has been such a blast, you
Yeah.
know?
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. Yeah.
What do you think what do you think makes Plugged In different than everybody else? Like, what sets us apart?
I've seen a lot of really great treatment facilities. I think one of the things that would make us special would be our the product that we have for our clients. Um, you know, I was talking about this earlier, but I love how our traditional space and our modern modalities just really bleed into one another and how it's such a perfect mix. And I think a lot of it has to do with our culture. Um, if I was to say if there's a differentiator, I would have to say that it's the client's experience with us. And to be honest with you, I really can't like pinpoint one thing, right? It's a real beautiful piece of a lot of things, right? So like, I mean, it could be something as simple as like right when you walk into the facility, there's already sensory of welcoming you, just in sensory of the openness and the aesthetics. But then all the hard work inside the walls, I think are hands down quite miraculous, if I may say so. So I can't really, if I was to pinpoint it on one thing, I would have to say it's what the clients are experiencing with their culture and helping it make it like very attractive instead of just stuffing it down someone's throat. I think that's it's going to be the client's experience.
Yeah.
I our processes with our step groups and our CBT and our DBT and how it's all hands on deck with as far as the communication between the floor to the therapist to whoever else needs to know. I think goes a very long way. I think the other beautiful thing, specifically with our residential, is um, we're overstaffed in a way that where our ratio is one client uh, or one staff member kind of is equivalent to like uh, three clients, and that's insane because
Yeah.
and I think a lot of places have that, but I think it's just really comes down to the client
Yeah.
experience.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
definitely not the norm, right?
no, it's definitely not
Um,
the norm.
you
Yeah,
always hear all these stories, these horror stories where, it's could be the opposite, right? Understaffed.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I think that's great that we can give that kind of level of attention.
Hmm.
But kind of getting back into you were telling me a little bit about your story of like getting into the recovery space. There's many different facets of like many career choices you could make in the recovery space. Like
Yeah.
what drove you to the programming side?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it's just the direct client care. I think is being in the trenches with them and helping them through their crisis, but then also being very solution based. And sometimes, you know, um, I think people want to know the truth, but I think sometimes they have to, be encouraged to be uncomfortable to hear the truth, and then helping them with the accepting of that truth, and then helping them find the solution to that truth. And I think that we do a really well job with that. I think I don't want to say that it's easier here with us than in some facilities that I've worked at or that I have seen. Not that we don't fight or there's not some behaviors that need to be modified, but I would definitely say that yeah, I think for me it's going to be the direct patient care, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't know if it's a God's timing or God's gift or that's just where God wants me to be at, but for the most part, man, I'm just tucked in,
Yeah.
and there's nothing better place I'd rather be than on the floor with the clients and just figuring it out with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think you're accurate, and sometimes you don't know what path you're going to go down. It just happens, right? And
Yes.
then that's where you fall. Your skill set kind of takes you down that path and really dials you in, and it just
Yeah.
happens naturally and organically. In the world or in your programming experience or history, like, is there a particular example of, maybe a program that you've created that you were super proud of? Um,
I think what it was is I think it really comes down to yeah, I'm really proud of the plugged in program, 110%. But it wasn't something that I was able to develop or anything like that. I think it was just seeing what works and what doesn't work. And I just really am picking and choosing on what really works with them. But then it's also is like you could have like the best curriculum, but if the facilitators are not there to pull it, then it's all really for nothing. It's just really good curriculum. And I
mm,
think, it kind of goes back, Scott, to like where the client's experience, right? Is like how are they going to have an experience with this group? How are they going to be able to get honest? Or how are they going to come to the realization of whatever that may look like? And I think that's it. I think that's really, really it. I think the curriculum definitely helps open it up, but I also think that I could walk into a group room and like understanding where their clients are at, and I would automatically know like what group I need to run
Mhm.
um, to help them see the bigger picture or to help them come from, this place to this place much more sooner and stuff like that. But the programming itself it's really a beautiful uh, piece of artwork, and I think that when our facilitators are, mastering that craft, there ain't nothing that we can't do. You know.
Would you say there's, or maybe what's like the hardest part of like designing these programs? Like when you're going down this path, like what are the roadblocks or what are the battles that you face in this role that you have?
I'm a stickler to uh if how do I say this? So I think the biggest battles is this person is not a program operator. This person is definitely operations,
Mhm.
right? But like they really want to try. And so like you pour a lot into trying to make that happen. And then they have to come to their realizations like, okay, maybe this isn't but like for me, one of the things of heart of hearts that I'm always gonna fight for is gonna be um the facilitators because they're in the trenches, they're working through it. And not that the floor techs are not doing these things during their smoke breaks or during lunch or dinner. Like, they're also in the trenches. But for me, it's always going to go down to the facilitators and the techs that are like on the floor and making sure that they are the right people for that position. Even at entry level, like the vetting process that we have is just so insane, right? Um, 2 or 3 interviews just to get the okay. um, so yeah, for me, that's the heartbeat. And everybody in treatment knows that that's where the heartbeat's at.
Right. Yeah.
So absolutely, it's not too difficult to teach someone how to drop you away or how to pick up meds from the Walgreens or whatever that looks like, right? Like those are pretty operational, easy pieces, or how to do an intake. But even on the intake, like it could be very personal and you could build a quick rapport with them and you could be invested just on intake. It doesn't have to be check boxes. And to go back to one of your questions is what kind of makes us different is that we don't go off of a checkbox system. It's just a
Right.
very organic, um, I think because we just really give a shit about people and their lives.
Yeah.
And it's because it's not a checkbox, I think that we're able to help the clients move mountains.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's one of the beautiful things about Plugged In, right? Is like a majority of the staff are in recovery,
Yeah,
right? So it's a passion career for them.
sure.
They're here with a purpose.
Mhm.
Um, they're here to help people, right?
Yeah,
They've been down that road. They know the good and the bad, the ugly, the pretty.
yeah.
And so I feel like that's a huge advantage, right? Like you can give such a better level of care when you've been in that experience yourself.
Oh, yeah, I would always, I can't say I would always, but I would always, if someone has that experience of what we're looking for of that fits our industry, then rather that someone that's been, like, certified and all those things, right? It's always a real treat, man, when we're interviewing somebody and that they have that experience because I feel that, on the floor that it's gonna really show that experience and help them out of their crises. So, yeah, that's
Yeah.
always a one up for me.
And I know you've kind of essentially answered this in various different ways, but like what keeps you super creative and inspired on like an ongoing basis every day?
You, Scott.
I mean, yeah.
I have to come here every day, and I just wanna prove you right, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
I mean, um, it's a really good question. What motivates me every day to keep doing what I'm doing, man, is, it's just I think it's just the calling, I guess.
yeah,
It's just the calling. I could think of everybody, all the clients that are in here, or even staff members, right? I think staff members, help them not go into compassion fatigue and like help them through some of those obstacles, or same thing like with the clients and stuff as well too, man. I don't, Scott. You know what I used to do before this?
what's that?
I was a forklift operator.
I think you told me that before.
Yeah, I was a forklift operator, and then I was a short order cook for
That's right. I do.
Mikhail's and
Yep.
Denny's.
I
Best
remember
their
that.
hearts. I was high as hell. Well, not at Mikhail's. I was actually in sobriety, but like I just said yes. I just
Right.
said yes. Someone says, "Hey, come work over here once you get your GED," and I was like, "All right."
Yeah.
and then I went to another place, and um, it's just I really feel like it's my calling is just helping people, and I
Right.
feel like a lot of people in recovery, I think like, I learned something really cool is, if your trauma is training, then what is your mission?
Right. It's good.
And, I think I don't know if I'm using this word right or not, but I feel like that's one of my ethos is, you know, all of the addiction and the trauma and whatever else came in through my life, right? I think it all steers clear of or steers into the trenches with other people that have suffered either more or less, what doesn't matter, but have suffered in the general of that addiction and that illness that's progressive and terminal and help them out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I would feel more like it's a calling. I'm really passionate about it, or at least I feel that I am, and
Yeah.
um, you know, I
Well,
care
I
about
think
it.
it exudes from you 100%.
Yeah.
What do you think, what do you think is something that almost every recovery center out there could focus more on or do better at?
Listen to the clients.
Yeah. It's that simple?
I think listening to the clients, I think, I say that in a whole different many of ways because sometimes, I mean, hell, man, I do client evaluations every week,
Yeah.
right? What are we doing great? What are we not doing great? Is this an actual facility issue, or is this a staff issue, or is this a behavioral from the client? Um, but also too, man, I think, just being engaged with the clients, man, you're going to hear a lot more than what they're saying. It's really what they're not saying. And, being able to pull that out of them so that they could hear it. I think, the individualized care of paying attention to what the client probably isn't saying
Yeah.
and how to pull that out of them.
In your experience with working in all these different, treatment centers, like how much do you think culture of that treatment center plays into it? Like the culture of the employees and the environment, like the facility, like the homes that the treatment centers are in, or the outpatient facilities, like the amenities and all little things like TVs, video games, and like I said, the employees. Like, how does that culture really play a part?
Well, that's a real loaded question right there, Scott. I always like when you challenge me with this thought process here. Um, I think it's in the culture that is going to foster their hope.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the question that you're striving at there, but I feel like,
I guess what I would think about is like the culture of plugged in. When I say culture, it's like the environment, right? The
yeah,
vibe,
yeah,
like the level of people wanting to be here,
yeah.
right? Compared to your past, like other treatment centers, like how would you compare that? Like, are we less institutionalized? Do we feel more, inviting and homey and like, just curious your feedback on that.
Yeah, I think it's real big, like, on the customer service feel.
Mhm.
I know that our facilities, I mean, they're beautiful facilities, they're up to date, everything's, like, taken care of and stuff like that, and that's really great, like, I think for that to be, like, on the operational piece, for me, it's the customer service pieces as well
Yeah.
too of what
Mhm.
the staff members from top to bottom are able to provide for the clients.
Right.
Um, like, it's not gonna go on deaf ears, right? And being solution based, I also feel is very important with the culture as well too, is, if I have a milieu that is being negative, well, then we're just gonna focus on the solution. We're not gonna keep asking why you're so negative. It's like,
Yeah.
obviously, like, we gotta get them out of that headspace in a
Yep.
sense, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, I think it's a well-rounded question. I love what you're, striving at as well too,
Well, I think
man.
that
Like, all of
definitely
it's
I mean,
true.
I
Yeah.
I think that definitely falls right into the culture, right?
Yeah.
The building that rapport with the clients and making
Yeah.
them feel safe and they making them feel like they want to be here, right?
Yeah, yeah, getting them
Um,
excited for it. Yeah, I love the vibe things. Like, yeah, that's definitely
yeah.
very important as well too. I can't have a whole bunch of Debbie Downers on the floor that don't want to be there for their jobs,
Oh,
right? Like, that's not
100%.
gonna
Yeah.
that's not gonna work. If that was a cultural thing, then I probably wouldn't be in that environment
What do
myself.
you think is, like, next for Plugged In that gets you excited or maybe that you're excited about?
I think, we've been doing really good with the residential.
Mhm.
So a two part is getting maybe another building for like detox
Yeah.
and res, you
So just
know?
maybe continued growth and
Yeah.
just watching,
Yeah.
our ability to grow to help more and more people,
100%,
right?
yeah.
I mean, that's really what
Yeah,
it
what
comes
do we
down
got,
to.
like 13 sober livings? 13 sober livings,
Yeah, somewhere
going
up
on
there.
13th, those sober livings, I
Yeah,
believe.
and you know what the crazy thing is? I think we have. I checked it this morning. 2, maybe 3 empty beds, and
Crazy.
I think last week we had 1 empty bed. So
Yeah.
it's when you think about it, and it's like I think we have like 144 beds. So if you think about it, like that's
Ooh,
140 to 141 of those beds are filled
man. Yeah.
every day with people in recovery, right? Some of them from our treatment centers, some from others, some from out of state, but all in it for the same effort.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, it's a lot of beds.
Man.
You don't really realize it until you start breaking it down by the how many beds it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
144 beds. That's not including the 10 from residential, right?
right. That's not
You
including
know, which
our
isn't a sober living, obviously,
right.
but yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got amazing crew of clients here at our outpatient,
Oh, I love
and,
our outpatient.
and growing. Yeah, I think the vibe here is, I always have to explain to my wife. She's like, "Why are you at work so much?" I said, "I just love being there. Like the
Yeah.
vibe, the culture. Like it's always fun, and like you can never hardly be in a bad mood here ever, right?
Yeah.
It's just like everyone just truly wants to be here, and that's literally from the staff all the way down to the clients, right? So
Yeah, I love that. And I love the fact that like there's a lot of people that want to work for us. And so like it just makes us easier to like pick the ones like, you know what I mean, that are like the best qualified for what we are looking for,
yeah,
right? Um, I love that. I absolutely love that a lot. And that's just speak volumes,
yeah.
which, I get like we're in Chandler and Scottsdale and it's not in a rural place where it's harder to get
Mhm.
staff members, right? I've been
Right.
in that situation before. But no, man, I think we're really on to something here, man. And I think it goes back to like something that Wade had said is like, I just want to shake up the industry,
Mhm.
and I'm like, let's
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
it's just, I'm on board. Yeah. I love being the
I
first one
love yeah,
here.
I love how Wade has that vision to shake it up. I like to call it modernizing recovery. But yeah, we have, a lot of people want to be a part of the plugged in team. And the great and cool thing about that is that we get to cherry pick the
Yeah.
best of the best,
Yeah. It's
right?
really awesome. Yeah.
So I think that's a testament to going back to our culture and our success rate.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you better.
Yeah, man. I'm excited, man. I'm really glad, Scott, and and I probably don't tell you this enough, or maybe not. I'm really glad that you are on this journey with us. I think you bring a certain calmness. I definitely feel that you're, the right person for the seat. I love the fact that you're kind of more hands on with the HESO boys and the marketing piece as well too, man. I think that that's dynamite, man. And the other thing I really do love about you, Scott, is like you have a you have an open door policy, and you're just like you're just one of us, right? Like you just want to be helpful and like you just want solution based things. And I love the fact that it's like I don't even like feel like I work for you. I just feel like we're just on the same team, like all
Yeah.
hands on deck. And
Yeah.
it's like I love the fact that's like we get to create that environment in our leadership team.
Hmm.
It's just like I always tell my staff, don't think of me as X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Like I'm a tech just like you. Let's just work it through together,
Yeah.
And it's just so awesome, man. But
I
it's been a pleasure working with you
Yeah,
for sure.
100%. I mean, I love that comment that you mentioned. I mean, that's really, we're all on the same team, right? We're all
Mhm.
here for the same goal,
Yep.
same initiatives. We all need to work together, right?
Mhm.
So when you can kind of remove that hierarchy of the organization chart and all that, and you guys are all just teammates, like
Yes.
you're all just running down the field trying to kick the same ball,
Yeah.
right? And get
Yeah.
it into the goal. Doesn't matter who's been there the longest, who's the captain or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So, um, I mean, 100%, absolutely love having you on the team.
Yeah.
I'm blessed, I think, by being part of such an amazing team.
Yeah.
Yourself and all the other
Have
amazing team
Have you
members.
ever seen have you ever seen like that picture where it's a bunch of lions and like a whole bunch of male lions together, and the caption is like, "We're gonna create a leadership team where no one knows who the boss is."
Yeah.
That's us.
No, that's a good one. I like
That
that.
it really is us. Like people are like, "Well, who's the boss?" I'm like, "Well, Dez is." And like, "Wait, are you over Dez or you're under Dez, or
Yeah.
are you over Scott or you over Scott or like
Yeah.
whatever?" I was like, "It doesn't matter. What's the problem? What
Yeah.
do you need
Well, I
help
think the
with?"
cool thing is we're all
And
just,
any one of us could just step
yeah,
in and just handle it.
100%.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
We find our lanes, we get good at it, and we all just complement each other.
Yeah, man.
Um, well, yeah. Anything else you want to add before we sign off?
No, but maybe the next time I'll ask you a whole bunch of questions.
Hey, it sounds like a date. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
man. I appreciate you, man.
All right.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks a lot for being with us here at Plugged In with some of the guys that gets to run the ship here.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
feel like I'm a behind the scene kind of guy. So this is cool to be in front of the camera for the first time.
yeah, man. Really awesome, dude. Greg and Scott here, man, checking out with you guys. Really grateful you guys get to be a part of it all, and we're looking forward to seeing you the next time.